Today I'll tell you what happened when I was pitching for an investment online. So this was during the COVID pandemic lockdown. Remember those days? We were not supposed to go out of our house. All the offices, all the buildings, all the businesses, everything was shut. My startup, Do40 Online Doctor Consultation, it was incubated at Mobile 10x. It is an incubation center and it is funded by the Indian Mobile Association. It's a private organization, but it was running in collaboration with the state government, the government of Kerala, and it had only one office in Kerala, and that was in my city, Calicut. So, immediately after incorporating the business, I had an office at this incubation center because the concept was unique, and with just an application, they let us in, and we were one of the first startups in Calicut which got incubated into the Kerala Startup Mission and the Indian Association of Mobile, the Indian Mobile Associations. Actually, its short name is IAMAI. I'm not sure what the second A stands for. Anyway, the building was part of government's building, and the place is called Cyber Park. It's a fancy name for a startup hub, and we were one of the first startups which were doing online doctor consultation and everything online. So, the incubation center was active even during the COVID pandemic days, even though there were restrictions for working at the office because, the COVID pandemic, the masks, breaking the chain, social distancing. Remember those keywords? So at that time, the assistant manager, Mr. Anoop, invited me for a round of investment pitching, and we were supposed to pitch in front of 20 big investors, and most of them were parts of big funds in India, and also from some of them from UAE, and I think some of them, one or two of them were international investors. Most of them were venture capitalists, and it was a 2-day kind of workshop, and a meeting place for startups to meet new investors. And we were selected as one of the first startups to pitch in front of all the investors. And thing is that we have to do this pitching live. So there were some restrictions on the presentation. The presentation should be finished within 10 minutes. The minimum number of slides were set as 10, and the maximum number was set at 30. There were so many restrictions, there were so many guidelines in place, and there were so many coordinators who all of them were working remotely, and we were using, I don't remember the name of the software. It was not Zoom, it was not Google Meet, it was something different. I think it was Air something, I don't remember the name actually. So everything was controlled online, and it was kind of an online virtual meeting happening. So all the startups were there, and we were supposed to do a live pitch which lasted less than 10 minutes. So I had prepared the slides with the help of my co-founder, and the slides was 14 in number, 14. And when I did the presentation, when I rehearsed, when I practiced, I took 8 minutes to complete the pitch. I think I practiced several times before doing the live session, and in order to make it in a good flow, I needed the help of my personal assistant, and at that time it was Jasil. He is right now currently working in Saudi Arabia, and he was supposed to move the slides at the same time, listening to what I'm presenting, and then switch the slides. So that was the plan. But when we tried to practice the presentation like that, it kind of felt odd because I was not sure which slide was being displayed, and he was not sure what I was talking about. So we practiced for several times, but it was not getting into place. Either the presentation or the slide, it was getting off sync because I was not able to see which slide is getting displayed as I am legally blind. So I came up with an idea on the day before, on the eve of the presentation, and it was to create a video. So I've been creating videos at that time for the last 1.5 years, and I was comfortable making videos. And so I asked Anoop, I made a call and asked him whether I can pre-record the presentation in the form of a video, and he made some calls and it was done. We got the permission, and so within 1 hour I had the presentation. I just did a voiceover and with all the script that I had, and in the voiceover we then created that voiceover clip into a video with overlays of the slides, and we were able to incorporate some beautiful transitions and animations in between the slides, and the presentation was good one. And the final video that we created was just 7 minutes long. So I exported the video and it was ready, and the next day when it was time for me to present, I got the second slot. So before me there was some guy, I think it was Drin, that was a company, it was another medical health related startup, and they were pitching their product for, I think their product was something related to the monitoring of heart activities, cardiac activities. And after their presentation, which was of course a live one, it was kind of boring, and after the pitching and all the Q&A session, it was my turn. So I had to go live for the first 1 minute, and in the meantime I had sent the pre-recorded file to Anoop, and he started playing the file, and at the same time he presented his screen. So the presentation started, the timer started, and everything went well. I must say the investors, all of them, when the presentation was done, all of them were impressed, because at that time, in the middle of the video, I had revealed that I was a legally blind person, and they were surprised. They were not sure how I was able to do that presentation, and so I had to tell them that it was a pre-recorded video and not a live one. So they understood the commitment, the work that I had done in order to create such a video. The effect, the end result was a good one, but they were expecting some live presentations. But after the presentation, the question and answers which they asked, I answered it live. I took it head on, and I was able to answer all the questions. I did the pitch, and actually I was optimistic. But at that time, I was not aware of the fact that we need to get a proper evaluation of the company before asking for random figures. And at that time, the business was also in pieces. It was not clear. The systems were not well developed, and the number of consultations we were getting, even though it was a time of lockdown, were very little. So we didn't get the funding even after that pitch. I think it was the second or the third investor pitching that I had done. And in the last week episode, I had mentioned another pitching which I had done for the Shark Tank. You must have heard about Shark Tank. It's one of the biggest investment reality shows in this world. And I had auditioned for for Shark Tank India back in 2021. The Shark Tank pitching was exactly 1 year after the virtual meetings, the virtual presentation and all. So I just wanted to tell you that even if you think that we can't do live pitching, there will be a workaround. There are loopholes everywhere. There are loopholes even in the judiciary, even in government. Every place you look at, there are loopholes. And if we have the proper mindset, I just wanted to stress that point. We can get every task done. We can do anything. And I just wanted to say that blindness is not a barrier for anything. If you want to do it, you can get it done. So that's what I wanted to share in this episode. And I hope you guys liked it. If you did, consider subscribing to the show. Give a 5-star review. You can check out the course at the website. I'll leave a link in the show notes. That's it, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You guys take care. Bye-bye.